It's time to start thinking about your capstone project. Everything you need is located on Haiku. From the home page, click on Resources, then scroll down to the right-hand corner where you will find everything you need to guide you through the creation of your capstone proposal all the way through your presentation of your project at the end of year 2. The first document I want to show you is the capstone project description. Here you will find a description and criteria of the project. Each participant in the Teacher Leader Certification Academy will complete a Kosis and Posner personal best leadership project that we will call the Capstone Project, demonstrating a deep understanding of the teacher leader model standards and growth as a teacher leader in the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. The project is about changing business as usual. You're the leader. It has an identifiable starting and stopping place, a specific objective. It involves other people, and maybe your project is just about to start or has already begun. If you're looking for ideas, there are a few suggestions listed on this document that include things like redesigning a student study team process, redesigning a school discipline plan, implementing a collaborative coaching model. But of course, we encourage you to submit proposals that reflect ideas of your own. Ideas that you've always wanted to pursue, things that you're passionate about, that you really care about bringing about change and leading at your current place of employment. Below you'll find the requirements of the proposal listed here for you. And in a minute I'll show you a document that has these requirements in bold print so that you can just type the information that relates to your project directly under those bold headings. So this is the proposal that you want to focus on between now and June. So you want to be thinking about what would be relevant to the work that you're already doing, something that maybe you've always wanted to try or initiate at your site, and get that into writing on your proposal. At the end of year 1, which is quickly approaching here in June, you will submit your proposal for feedback and approval from the facilitators of the Teacher Leadership Certification Academy. All of next year, you will have time to pursue what you stated in your proposal, implement your action plan, reflect on your results, and then at the end of next year, of year 2 of the Academy, you will be presenting a final presentation of your capstone project to a panel for final certification as a teacher leader. And the requirements of that final presentation are listed right here on this document as well. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to Haiku and show you some information on the actual proposal document itself. So this is the document I was referring to that had the black bold headings. So right on this document, you can type your project proposal. The headings are already here for you. Okay, so now I want to show you an example of my proposal. So I took that form and just used those bold headings to submit my idea. So the title or description of my project was Differentiating BITA Support Provider Training based on support provider and district liaison feedback from a school district that I'm currently working with. So my goal was to really differentiate training for veteran support providers or mentors so that they would have a higher level of satisfaction and buy-in into RIMS BITSA. The agency in which I was working was feeling that the training they were receiving was not relevant and a good use of their time, which was really bothersome to me. So I wanted to come in and really look at how I could encourage them to be more involved and actively engaged in their trainings, to show how we could make that more relevant to the work that they were doing with the participating teachers. So that was kind of the basis of my proposal. And my intended outcomes were reciprocal in that I wanted to benefit this large agency who was spending over $10,000 for sub-release time for their mentors to come to training. I wanted to save them money by coming to them. That was one of their concerns, so I wanted to help meet that concern. And I also wanted to increase their mentor satisfaction, and I was planning to do that by looking at feedback on their surveys. I also had a few subsidiary goals, which was to improve the induction experience and increase student achievement. How the project relates to the model standard. So I picked a few domains. I picked domain 1, and then I indicated how my work was related to that standard and that domain. And I also selected domain 3 and how my work would relate to domain 3. I did a description of my action steps, and then indicated what kind of data I would collect to support my project's success. And then I indicated how I would leverage my strengths. So my strengths were challenging the process, which is really what this project was all about, and how I could use technology integration to really differentiate training modules for these veteran support providers. Some of my areas that were indicated on my LPI were for improvement or could be stronger, were enabling others to act and encouraging the heart. So again, I have my plans for how will I address this, and then what will my action steps be. And that's pretty much it. It's just a basic outline of my plan, of my idea. Here's what I want to work on, and here are my action steps. And I can tell you that not everything has gone exactly according to plan, and that's fine. You know, along the way, as my project has developed, I've discovered, you know, new and different needs to address, and so that's fine. You know, your project can be flexible as long as your general project idea is still moving in that direction, but you will find these little pockets that surface that you weren't expecting, and that may become more of a center of your project than you expected. So that's just a general idea of the Capstone project proposal that is due in June, and where you can find the information. These areas down here, the PowerPoint, your supervisor evaluation form, your rubric, your e-portfolio guidelines, those will all come into play next year in year 2. So between now and June, these are the 2 that you really want to be focusing on. These will come later. I do want to take just 1 second and show you a start of an e-portfolio that I've put together. So the e-portfolio guidelines are all listed out for you right here, what your project, your e-portfolio needs to include. And your e-portfolio is really just a collection of evidence of, for your journey of your capstone. So here's one that I started. I started a Weebly site. I like to use Weebly because I think it's easy to navigate. So what I did from that document, I took the guidelines, what were stated that had to be included in my e-portfolio, and one was that I had to have a home page. And all I've done right now, that as far as I am on this project, is I just took what was stated in that document and listed it here, so I know here's what I have to include on my first page of my e-portfolio. And then the guidelines indicated that I needed a project summary, so that's going to be my next page in my e-portfolio. And again, I just took the criteria listed from that guideline document and put it right here as a reminder to myself what I need to include on this page. And then evidence and outcomes. And again, I just took what was listed on that document as the criteria and made notes for myself here of what I can include. So surveys, polls, documents, blog comments, evidence of student achievement. So ultimately, this is the end product, but again, this is June of 2014 for you, but just so you have an idea of what you're working towards. So good luck with your capstone project. I'm sure you have lots of great ideas, and we're excited to see all of the great initiatives you choose to lead.